Hi guys, and welcome to today's video. My name is Cassie and I'm the reader behind MomentsAre. Okay, so today's video is about what are they holding back, okay? We're going to be looking at anything that they might be maybe afraid to tell you, anything that they're maybe hiding. We're basically kind of getting behind, that kind of conscious surface level, and we're going kind of deep today. And, some of this stuff might be kind of unconscious for them. So I do want to mention that. Not that this is something, and when I say unconscious, I don't mean that it's something they're not aware of at all. I just mean that it's something that maybe it comes up to their minds every so often. Maybe they have a dream about it or something like that. But when it comes up, they kind of push it down, It might be something like that. Because, we all have things that, when they come into our minds, we're like, ooh, I don't want to think about that or whatever, Or if you're really evolved, then you don't have anything like that, and you're probably not needing to watch this video. But for what today's purpose is, just to see, what are they still uncomfortable with in the relationship, okay? This can be for any kind of romantic relationship, any kind of crush, anything like that. It works best if it's a romantic relationship, though. That's kind of my specialty. That said, before we begin, I do want to say at the end of the video, I will be telling you the schedule for the rest of the week, that coupon code for our Black Friday store, and just announcing any kind of other news. All right, guys? Okay, so let's go ahead and start with the reading. Pile number 1 is this yellow butterfly. Pile number 2 is this purple butterfly. Pile number 3 is the red butterfly. Pile number 4 is the green butterfly. Pile number 5 is the blue butterfly. And pile number 6 is the white butterfly. So while you guys are thinking about which one you're going to pick, go ahead and pause it so that you can think about that, because otherwise we're going to go ahead and start with pile number 1. All right? Okay, so this is always a weird, awkward part where I have to figure out what I'm going to say when I'm moving these cards away. It's kind of silly, I think, that I can't ever think of anything to say. All right, pile number 1. Those of you who picked the yellow butterfly, here is your reading. All right, so we have, wow, it doesn't look like your person's holding anything back, actually. You guys are fine. I'll go ahead and go through this. Okay, we've got progress. We have ascended masters. Okay, we have fragmented energy. All right, surrender to inner peace. Okay, we have strength, we have justice, and we have silenced. Okay, this is the only kind of negative card, but I don't feel like this is necessarily, I don't feel like this is a huge issue. So here's what I'm getting from this, okay? You guys are doing really well in this relationship. If it doesn't feel like it, you're going to start making this progress very soon. I would give that just over a month. No matter what time you watch this will be just over a month, okay? So for those of you who are watching this within the first couple of days, it's going to be right around the end of December, okay, where you're going to really feel that progress. But regardless, whenever you're watching this, it's going to be just over a month. We've got this person really tuned in to their spiritual energy. They want to be a better person. They're trying to figure out how they can become better. A lot of people, like, it's like they're in that growth mindset. I know that's kind of a buzzword a lot of people are using right now, but they really embody it. It's like their natural ability, their natural state is to try to figure out how to grow and how to learn from things and that kind of stuff. So that's really good. And then with the fragmented energy, it's like, I feel like they might be a little tired sometimes. They might feel like, let me restart. You might feel like you're not getting the full picture, but because they're constantly trying to change themselves for the better, they're never really a stagnant picture because that's always changing. So it's kind of like a good thing in one way because they're constantly improving upon themselves, but in another way, it's like you never really see them just kind of stand still. And this could be somebody that has very, very low energy or very, very high energy. I'm not meaning physically stand still or emotionally or intellectually. I just mean that they're constantly wanting to improve upon themselves. So you never really see them as being, I suppose, completed because they know that they're not working on becoming just this one thing and then they're done. They know that this is kind of a work in progress, and that their whole life is a work in progress and that kind of stuff. They don't want to ever be out of a state of continuing to learn, continuing to change. Now this can also come through as something that kind of looks like someone who might be really into like scholarly things. They might be really into creative endeavor. They might be constantly growing their business. It might come across in just one area. Or it might come across in multiple areas, but I want to make sure that I say what I'm not talking about. I'm definitely not talking about somebody who is necessarily wishy-washy, not somebody who is kind of back and forth on what they want. They know what they want. And it's just, and I wouldn't even say they're fickle, although it might appear like they are because they might kind of jump from one thing and like kind of go up a level and then go up another level. But I don't feel like I'm not getting any kind of negative energy at all from this. It's very, very pleasant. It's very calm. This surrender to inner peace, it's like that's what they're working on right now is they want to be at peace with themselves. And so that might be another, if this isn't resonating as much with you as maybe that usually does, this is just letting you know for about 10% of you that whatever it is that's been holding back in the relationship or holding that relationship back, they're at peace with that now. And that you're about to make progress, okay? But for the rest of you, it's like they're just trying to find that inner happiness, and that's why they're constantly growing and changing and that kind of stuff. With the Strength card and the Justice card, they're both major arcana, so we know that this is a big deal. We know this is a big relationship, okay? So if you do feel that kind of soul connection with them or that kind of pull, it's because of that. It's because you guys really do connect, We've got this balance, between, I suppose, I think about justice, not necessarily like temperance, but I think of it as a balance between mercy and justice, or the balance between the head and the heart, basically, is what I'm trying to say. But I feel that this person kind of transcends that and reaches a truth by being able to, detach from both. And I don't think detached is the right word. It's non-attachment. Because if we're detached from something, then we're not really connecting with it. But I feel like it's more like they're not attached to their emotions enough, and they're not attached to their opinions and their thoughts enough to be able to be real forceful. And that's how they're strong. They're more strong in a silent kind of way. Like the strong silent type, rather than necessarily somebody who's going to make some grand gestures that, would come through from maybe a big, like, I want to say like a sports kind of person, somebody who's real aggressive. I don't feel like this person would come across very aggressively. But at the same time, they definitely have a strength. Maybe they've been through some times. A lot of people who are in this energy tend to have gone through a lot of negativity, and they've come up and they keep rising up and up. And that's kind of made them stronger and that kind of stuff. Another thing about the Strengths card is that it also lets me know, along with the Justice card, is that they are in communion with both their head and their heart, okay? Because here we've got this almost angelic-like creature here. It's not. It's just a person. It's just a nice lady. right? And she's tamed this lion, right? And just kind of think about that. Like she is able to communicate with the beast, right? So it's kind of like a super ego id thing. Like they're really balanced and aware of all of that kind of stuff, right? We've got the silenced card. This is the only negative thing, and it's not even really that negative. I feel like sometimes they feel like they can't like get a word in. And so if they ever hold back, it's just because they're really excited about whatever it is you're talking about or whatever it is you're doing. And I don't feel like this comes from not knowing when to act or anything. I don't feel like this is like they're being silent on purpose or they're giving the silent treatment so much as it's like they're sometimes they speak through their silence as well, is one way of putting it. And then on the other hand, you know, the more negative slant to this card, you know, but you really have to put it into context with all this amazing energy here. It's just that it can sometimes feel like they want to share something with you, but they might not feel like they're like it's fully formed, or like their idea. I almost said his. You know, his or her idea is fully formed. It doesn't feel like your person like sometimes feels like maybe you'll be receptive to that. This could be something as simple as like you're asleep and they come up with an idea and they don't want to wake you up to tell you about it. I mean, it could be something as simple as that, or it could be something a little bit more complicated. Like maybe there's some kind of communication issues that's causing this person to have a little bit of a hard time getting words in. You know, I don't feel this as being a major. I just don't feel it as being a major problem, though. I feel like the timing is just right there with this person. This person's plugged in. They want to be in this. They want this to work, and they will work for it. And if you haven't seen any of this start to happen yet, it's happening in the now, and you will see the full force of this in a little over a month. Okay. All right, guys, this is amazing. I really didn't think that there was going to be a pile that was going to actually have something like, well, they're not really hiding anything. So you guys surprised me. All right. Hi, those of you who picked pile number 2, the purple butterfly, here's your reading. Okay. Looks like your person's feeling a little stressed out, probably stressed out about money. We've got some excuses, professional assistance, okay, travel and learning. Okay, there's a lot going on with your person, okay? The fact that the moon card comes up lets me know that this person is holding some stuff back emotionally, okay? But I feel like sometimes people, okay, I just want to make sure this comes across clearly. Sometimes people hold back from relationships because they have commitment issues. Maybe they're not sure about the relationship, or maybe they're maybe they don't really want a relationship yet, or just all sorts of different kinds of reasons that you might see in a advice column or maybe even a pop psychology article or something like that. I feel like this person has a lot of serious stress in their life right now, okay? I don't feel like this card that says excuses. I feel like this card's coming up to let you know that whatever they're saying to you is true. Like, they're not making excuses. They really are having some issues at work, or they're having some issues with money, or if they're not telling you about it, they're worried about money, okay? They're worried about, or they're worried about security, okay? Because this person, it's not necessarily a hoarder. It's not necessarily somebody who, sometimes this comes up and it's like, obviously that it's a hoarder, but it's not somebody like that. It's somebody who feels like they don't have as much resources as they would like. The resources could be money and work, and that's what it generally is, and that's what's going to resonate for most of you. But it could be energy levels too, or it could be literal resources, like maybe maybe for example, like if it's me, right? I want to start a YouTube video and give some readings, but I don't have very many cards, so I can't really use a whole lot of different tools, right? That would be what I'm talking about. Like they don't feel like they have their resources to do what they want to do. So another way of looking at that is like they want to build a house, but they don't have any wood, or they want to paint their room, but they don't have paint, that kind of stuff. And I feel like they're feeling that scarcity consciousness, of just feeling like there's not enough in the world for everybody. And so they have to hold tight to whatever it is that they're trying to hold tight to. They might be embarrassed about this financial thing, so they're not telling you about it because they're afraid of being judged, that kind of thing. But I don't think that is as big of a problem as it is just that they're stressed about it. Whatever it is, they're stressed about it. We've got the professional assistance. So what I'm getting from this is that this person is having issues with other people, okay? It's not you, or it might be you, but they're having issues with other people as well. And they might not be talking to you about this as much, but they're doing a lot. They're taking on a lot more than usual, either in their job, at school, if they're a student, even if they're not employed. It would be something like in either volunteer work or even their hobbies. It could even be something having to do with socialization and their friends or their community or whatever. But I feel like it's more likely in a job or a school situation where it's like they need professional assistance. They need more, and this, kind of getting into the spirit of this, they need more help, but they're not getting it. And that's stressing them out. Okay. We'll go ahead and just kind of skip past this travel card. Okay. And we'll go to the surrender stress. This is what they're trying to let go of right now. They're trying to surrender their stress. They're trying to be like, okay, what can I do? And one of their ways of doing it is to learn. If they are like either taking a class or maybe they're doing some training or they're trying to do something new in their professional life. One of the things that I think about is like a lot of people who are teaching, at least here in the States, they're having to switch to being online most of the time and stuff like that. So, they're having to learn some kind of new skill to do at work in addition to whatever they're normally doing. That's a really good example of that. Or it could be somebody in the nursing community or in the, or some doctors, that are trying to figure out like how they're going to manage all of their resources at work that way. Okay. The travel card's coming up for one of two reasons. Okay. Either they're literally traveling right now or they're about to, and I would say like within 5 days of this reading. So either 5 days before or 5 days after they're going to travel, and I think that this is the more accurate one, and this is going to resonate for more of you. They want to get away. They just really want to like not deal with it right now. And I feel like that's a really, really natural response to prolonged stress, because I don't feel like the stress is acute. I feel like this has been going on for a while. And so for them wanting to get away and just take a vacation and just like forget about it, I mean, that's something that could really help them. So if you want to help them out at all, you can just be like, hey, do you want to get away for a day or two? Do you want to like binge watch this show on TV or whatever you can think of to kind of get their mind off of things? It might feel a little scary for them because they really are stressed, but it's just something to kind of calm them down. It could even be something small as like preparing a meal for them, or asking them if there's anything you can take care of for them, that kind of stuff. So the excuses, I feel like this is why you're watching this more, is that you're wondering, is this person's energy, like, are they really that busy? Are they really like actually needing to do all of this stuff, and all of that? Or is this just an excuse to mess with me? Like they're not really into me or whatever. And it's like, I don't feel like this person is making excuses at all. I feel like this person's just really stressed out. They've got their mind on a lot of different things. Another thing that just keeps coming to mind, and it's probably because there's so many cerebral things going on in this, with the learning and the library and everything. So I feel like they might even, and we've got stress, they might even actually be experiencing some sort of, mental issues right now that they need to just kind of like get away from things so that they can like reach that calm again. It doesn't feel like it's so dire that it's never going to happen. It just feels like they're just overloaded. If you are working with this person, if there's any kind of work relationship that you have with this person, the best thing you can do is put yourself in that situation so that you can help them. Okay. Like find a way that you can assist them with whatever it is they're doing in a way that's not going to like get in their way. Right. I mean, there's the teacher that walks around asking, hey, do you need some extra help? Can I explain this more to you? And that kind of stuff. And then there's the teacher that just stands over a student's shoulder and just stares at him. I mean, it's one of those feels helpful and the other one feels a little intrusive. Because the reason I'm mentioning that dynamic is that I just don't feel like I just feel like they're really at their last, they might be cranky basically. And so you don't want to do anything to try to like up their stress. If you helping them at work is, would definitely help, that would definitely help them, then do it. But if you don't know and you're like, well, I don't know if I could, then just don't, then understand that it would probably stress them out more. In fact, I would say the kind of person that's a little bit more quiet and withdrawn will be much more stressed out by trying to, if you try to offer them help, than the kind of person who is usually more extroverted and warm and open, okay? But yeah, this person, it's like, they're not hiding it from you, but it's like, it's almost like you're not aware of it. You're not aware of the extent of it. I feel like they've been giving you clues about it, but I mean, and it's almost like one of those things that they would think you should know this. But it's like, they really are stressed. They really are going through something right now where they're juggling. They're trying to figure out how to handle whatever it is they're going through. And, just because they need a break doesn't mean that they'll take one right now, but that can be a solution there. And also it would hurt them if they felt like them telling you I'm busy, and maybe they've been busy for a few months and you coming back to them and maybe saying something like, I'm not saying you guys are doing this. I'm just saying it's possible. Being like, well, don't you want to be my friend anymore? Don't you want to see me? Like, come on, that would make them feel worse just because they are really trying to manage this, okay? One thing that's really great here is that we've got a door, so I feel like, and we're not looking at the specific cards, we're just looking at, well, we've got a door, so there's a solution there, okay? The solution is going to happen. And then we've got a major arcana card, even though it's a moon, which tends to be talking about things done undercover and that kind of stuff, it still is a major arcana card. So this person's not going to leave your life. You'd have to leave their life, okay? But they're just really stressed out, and that's what's going on. All right, guys. Yeah. Alrighty. Hi, pile number 3. Those of you who picked the red, or maybe it's pink, whatever color that is, butterfly. Here is your person, like what they've been having issues with. We've got the Queen of Wands. We've got the 8 of Wands. We've got this, okay, faithless. That's an interesting one. Surrender to your soul's path. Okay, we've got teacher. We've got the loving woman. Okay, and then we've got nurture. Wow. This is almost beautiful. It makes me feel, like when I look at this, it makes me feel like, man, your person really, really needs a lot. Really needs a lot. But it's like they're opening to it. They're trying to figure it out, but yeah. Okay, so there's a lot of different ways to start approaching this. Let me go ahead and let me start with the ones that might be a little bit more of a concern, okay, if I saw them come up in a reading. We've got the Faithless card, and then we've got Surrender to Your Soul's Path. What faithless means in this is that they're starting to feel like a decision they made a while ago, whether it had to do with you or it had to do with someone else or something else, their vocation maybe, or their school, or whatever. They're starting to lose faith in the righteousness of that was a good choice, that was the right choice, that kind of thing. And they're trying to get back on track, okay? This would be somebody who maybe, maybe right out of high school, for example, they weren't able to go to college right away because maybe they had some other issues going on or something else that was preventing them from doing that. But now they're ready to go back to school, and so they're trying to get back on that path. That's a perfect example of what I'm talking about. So what you don't know, what they're holding back, is just how much they want to be in a different place right now. Not necessarily with the relationship, although it might be. I'm not getting that from the rest of the cards here, but just that they want to be able to express themselves wholly, and they feel like they're not able to do that yet because they need to change this decision. Okay. And so what they're holding back from you in that case is whatever decision that it was that they made that they're not feeling 100% about right now. Just that they're trying to figure out what they're going to do about that. My best guess, according to everything that's coming up here, is that I would say like 95% of you are going to see your person make a big decision soon, okay? And that decision is going to affect the relationship in a positive way. Whatever they decide, it's gonna be for the positive of your relationship, okay? Another thing that they're kind of holding back is their passion, just how much they feel, how much they're feeling in this relationship, how much they respect you, how much knowing you is really driving them. They feel like you're a truly good person that is willing to give of yourself, whether you're female or male. It doesn't matter, or it doesn't matter gender. It's just, I feel like they feel like you have really set them in a place where they've felt nurtured, they felt taken care of. They feel like their life is more secure with you, and it's like it's almost like they want to explain to you that you have been some kind of catalyst for this big change that they want to make. Because I do feel it's connected, and mostly it's because of the Eight of Wands here, where we're talking about quick action. This person's going to make this decision pretty quickly. The person knows they need to take action. I mean, it's not like they're going to just sit around and not make a decision, okay? So sometimes people are in a situation, and maybe they're getting something out of it. So instead of just making a whole commitment to be in one situation or whatever, they're trying to kind of milk both situations, but it's not like that. They want to fully they want to fully either undo some kind of decision or go back and make certain that it's made right. Okay. And it's weird because I'm like, I want to be more specific than that, but I feel like that you guys that are watching this will know what I'm talking about. So I just want to acknowledge that I know that I'm being kind of vague, and I am doing that because I feel very strongly that I'm not supposed to be very specific, because this is going to be a whole lot of different situations depending on which viewer you are. Okay, the Teacher is coming up. And I think that it's coming up for a couple of reasons. The main thing is that I don't feel like you, the viewer, feels like you are as valuable to them as they are to you. And this is coming up showing like, no, you are really valuable. You have all of this information that they can use. but it's not just that. It's like your wisdom, what you can teach them, that kind of stuff. Another thing that comes through about this, and this isn't going to apply to all of you, but some of you guys, is also that maybe they feel like you're hiding something from them and they're not telling you that. And I'm just saying that because when I see books and I see them closed like that, I think about secrets. I think about hidden information like that, but I'm not getting it on their end. On their end, the information that they're hiding is what they're going to do about making this decision. What they're hiding or what they're holding back is just how much they appreciate you and how secure they're feeling around you. So I feel like maybe they might be hiding from you that they think you're hiding something from them. I hope that makes sense. Either way, I think that the thing to take away from this is that a big decision is going to be made relatively soon. Okay. This person feels very passionately for you. There's nothing wrong with that. There's definitely attraction. There's definitely positive feelings. This is a situation where they do feel love. They acknowledge that within themselves. They feel it from you. They feel it for you, and you're more valuable to them than you might think. And on the other hand, they might feel like you are holding something from them. But yeah, I mean, this isn't like a huge, big problem. I'm not seeing this like they're lying to you about having some major like flaw or something like that. It's more like they're just going through some things that they want to, they just need to make that decision and go, So yeah. Right, those of you who picked number 4, the green butterfly, here is your reading. Okay, surrender to divine timing, the Page of Swords, the Empress, foolish, okay, true love, happy success, replenish. Wow, this is interesting. Okay. The main thing that they're hiding from you is that they care about you so much. They do not want you to know. They do not want you to know just how much of an influence you have over them. They just don't want it. They are so enamored by you. They're so affected by you. They are terrified of you knowing that, because it has so much power over them. They're in a situation right now where, for whatever reason, they can't be fully present with you, okay? That's why the divine timing card is coming up, okay? Just trust in the relationship, okay? Just trust that there is enough there, because we've got not only true love, but we have happy success. These are both extremely good cards, okay? One thing about true love, though, one thing about this particular card is that it does imply a kind of almost obsession. It can show a kind of like, almost like this might seem like something. And I'm going to get to this with the Fool, but I'm just, it's not really fool, it's foolish. I want to make sure you see that. Okay. I want to be able to make sure I say it right. Of course we've got the mirror soul, and that kind of thing and everything, but it's almost like, with, Narcissus, okay, that stares at his reflection all day. It's kind of like that. And the reason that particular energy is coming up through this particular card, because there's a lot of different cards that could have come up that to symbolize true love, okay? This is the one we got. This is not a bad card. It's a great one. But it does show me that there is this feeling that your person feels a little like unsettled by it, because it's so powerful, because it makes them feel crazy, because it makes them do foolish things, like stare at their reflection forever until they turn to a flower, that kind of thing, right? I think that that's a myth here. If it's not, you guys can please correct me in the comments. But yeah, it's like they think about you constantly. They constantly want to impress you, and then they end up doing something or saying something. Usually it's something really clumsy with their words that is hurtful. Unfortunately, they don't mean to be hurtful. They're trying to create that kind of nonchalance, like, yeah, well, I'm not really that affected by you. It's almost like they're acting like what I imagine when I imagine like a little boy, and I'm not, your person could be male or female. Gender doesn't matter here. It's just I imagine this little boy on the playground, and he's like really likes this girl, and instead of just being nice to her, he'll like pull her braids and like tease her and like chase her and that kind of stuff. I kind of feel like it's like your person's trying to, even with like a sense of humor, act like they're not as affected, and it can really hurt though. It can really, really hurt, some of the things that they say, but they always feel really dumb, really, really dumb afterwards. So they're trying to not act foolish around you. They're trying to break this habit here, while also recognizing that this is where they're the most comfortable, and it's like, they're, and of course they're going to be comfortable because when you are in a situation where you are in love, you're going to take a risk, a huge risk, just by being around this person. You're taking a risk in that you're building an attachment with somebody who might not be there all the time. You're building an attachment with somebody who could reject you. You're building an attachment with somebody who could hurt you, It's almost like they're trying to hurt you first before you hurt back. Yet, with the Page of Swords energy, we're not talking about like major, like abusive type stuff so much. It's just these little, like maybe critical things, or these little things that they might say that feels like, oh gosh, you must not like me, like, why are you pulling my braids? That kind of thing. Know that this is in the act of being mended. The other card that we have here that is just so beautiful in this whole spread is the Empress, which is this nurturing abundance and all of that. This lets me know that there's some kind of extra force in this, not just you and your person, but there's another force in this that is also trying to bring you together. You can call that the universe, your divine consciousness, your higher self. You can say it's God. You can say, whatever you name it, there's something that's trying to make this work. Like, you guys are supposed to be going through this stuff. One thing about the abusive thing, if I would say this to anybody, if you're in an abusive relationship with this person, get out of it right away. Okay. Like, that's not cool. There's no room for that. Okay. I'm not talking about like actual, like, when I say the Page of Swords, like saying things that are kind of hurtful and they might really hurt and that kind of stuff, I'm not talking about physical abuse or sexual abuse or any kind of or verbal abuse or anything like that, psychological. I'm talking about more like somebody's letting their pride get in the way, and because of that they might come across as being a little cold, being a little cutting. But it's almost like you can see right through it, though. I feel like most of you guys are being like, "Oh, well, yeah, this is exactly who you're talking about." Yeah, I can see through it. The reason you can see through it is because it's so clumsy. The Page of Swords. This represents like a kind of like the child of all of the court cards. Is the pages, and it's like they're just kind of clumsy about it. The intent is there, and the feelings are there, and all of that. But they can't quite do it. They want to have control, and I mean this is what's behind it. They want to have control of themselves, okay? And we've got the sword cards, where the people in the court are very much in control. They're self-possessed. They're disciplined. They are very aware of divine timing. They're very aware of when to say something, when to hold back, and that kind of stuff. Your person wants to be like that, but we're not getting the King of Swords. We're not getting the Queen of Swords. We've got the Page here. We've got somebody who is so in love and who is just acting like, and they're so in love and they don't know how to express it and all of that. They're just being clumsy. I mean, they're just being like almost adorable, like, even that they're saying these kinds of hurtful things, but you can see right through them. So one thing that you guys might be wondering is like, well, why do they do this? I wish I could tell you. I'm just being honest. I don't know why people do this. I've had this situation happen with me like so many times that I don't know. I don't know why people do that. I do know that I personally am very reluctant to express any kind of feelings that are that even approach this. So like even I do it, you know, but I don't know why I do it. I guess it's just because I don't want to feel I don't want to feel crazy. I mean, really, that's it. Your person might actually have had a crazy parent or a mentally unstable parent or friend or a brother or sister or someone they trusted that was not stable, and maybe they don't want to be like that person. I mean, it could be a lot of things, but I just feel like this person does not want to appear foolish. Their pride is really like in the forefront, but they really care about you. This is going to be successful. This is awesome. You know, I feel like, especially within the next, like maybe 3 months, things are going to just really start lining up for you guys. So your advice card is replenish. Okay. So we've got this replenish, and then we've got this divine timing. Unfortunately, even though this is such a great reading, for you guys, it's going to take a while, okay? So unless your heart isn't really in this, understand, you know, 3 months to some people is way too much. To other people, it's all like, oh yeah, okay, I can do that. That's not a big deal. This person, like in the now, they care about you. But they just really need to kind of rest and process it. And the timing's just a little bit off for this to kind of come out. All right. But you do have this card, happy success. You do have the Empress, which promises abundance and nurture and all of that good stuff. You have the foundation. You have everything you need to have a really positive relationship with this person. It's just got to be at the right time. And the right time is going to be more towards 3 months from now than it's going to be like tomorrow. Okay. So, yeah, I really like this one. So yeah, you guys, your person really cares. All right. Hi guys. Those of you who picked the blue butterfly, pile number 5. Okay. Surrender your belief in scarcity. We've got the Ace of Swords. We've got the 3 of Cups. We've got manipulation, planning and action. We have taking steps, and then we have release. Oh, goodness. All right. Something is going on with your person right now where they're not taking this as seriously as they should be. And it's because they really are not mature at all. Like, I almost have a peeve of people using that as an excuse. Like, yeah, they just haven't had enough life experience to really know. It's almost like they haven't had enough life experience to really know what to do with this situation with you. They have a lot of really great ideas, and they love spending time with you, and they feel great when they're around you. But for them, they're not taking it as seriously as one would take a long-term relationship, okay? At least right now, not in the now. So if this is somebody that you're married with, for example, or this is your long-term boyfriend or your long-term girlfriend, right? This person is right now, they need to recommit. Okay. And you probably feel that they've been planning a lot of things without you. Okay. Gosh, I hate saying that, you guys, my heart goes out to you guys. All right. I'm just telling you what I'm getting. And you know, I feel very bad for having to say this, you know, but sometimes this is their, sometimes it's just not such a great reading, you know. They're trying to take some planning and action here. This could be for the benefit of the relationship, but for the most part, this is going to actually be something that's negative in the relationship, because I'm getting release. Like they want to let go. They're taking steps. It's like they're taking steps. I feel like they're trying to get away. You see, this person is looking, they're not facing the reader. They're looking away from the reader. So they're trying to go away. They're trying to leave the scene. And then we've got this manipulation. Like they might be stringing you along, just to have this fun with you, instead of being able instead of actually being able to have a really good, solid, you know, feel. Like it's interesting. It's like They don't want to form a foundation. They don't know how, and they don't want to. Like, I just don't feel like they even have the desire to do that. But that doesn't mean that they don't care about you. They have fun with you. There is definitely caring there. You definitely inspire them. Definitely. I just don't feel like they're sticking around. I just don't feel like it. And I feel like you guys know this too. One thing that I can say is the planning and action card might be referring to somebody who's trying to plan to get the two of you together so they can release something else that's coming between you. The Three of Cups does represent sometimes third-party situations where there's actually another woman, or there's another man, or there's another person in the situation. They might be trying to release that. They've got this great inspiration. They're trying to release that. They're planning to take that action, and they are actually taking steps to do that, but they are being manipulated. Either way, your advice is to surrender your belief in scarcity, okay? This isn't the only person that's out there for you. You could find somebody else and have a much better connection with them. And also understand that in this situation, clinging to it right now is not going to be the best decision. That's not going to be what gets you what you want in this situation. You have really got to take advantage of the whole idea of releasing something so that it can come back to you. All right? Because that's the last thing they're thinking you're going to do. They feel like they have you, like they've totally got you. So the last thing that they would believe is that you would go away from them. Okay? That could definitely change them around. If you are in a serious long-term relationship with this person, I would just say talk to them. The Ace of Swords can sometimes represent, having a really breakthrough conversation. Talk to them, tell them how you're feeling, ask them, like, where do I stand with you, okay? And that kind of stuff. I really think, though, from everything because we're looking at it in context of everything else. I can sit here and be like, well, this is good, but only if this isn't with all this other stuff. And I could be like, well, taking steps can be good, but, it's just, I'm just not getting a very positive vibe from this. I'm not getting a whole lot of hope. I'm not getting a whole lot of, like glue here. I'm not feeling like this is a situation where things are being pushed together. I feel like they're being pulled apart. That could be something that you guys both need for your own soul development right now. But it's just really not feeling right to me. This isn't feeling right to me. What I think that your person's holding back from you is just how much planning and action they're doing to try to release this situation. It could be that they want to stay together through maybe the holidays, something like that. But I feel like they do want to release something here. It could be that the two of you are having some problems that you're very aware of, and those need to change. Because I'm not getting a lot of specifics, and that's something else that's kind of troubling me here. Is that usually when I get really powerful readings that are just so very, very positive, or so very, very not so positive like this one, I tend to get more details. But I feel like this is just, it's like there's not anything to say. There's just not anything to say because there's not enough there to talk about. There's not enough there. Gosh, yeah. Yeah. This one could also, this card also might be coming up because there is somebody else in the equation here. But the best advice I can give you with this is that, first off, getting rid of this situation might really be what you need in order to feel like learn something, okay? Or this might be your opportunity to be like, you know what? I've been watching these videos and I've been picking the cards and everything, and I actually know what's going on. I don't know why I'm watching these. I know what's going on. it's time now to trust my own intuition. Maybe I don't really need to rely on these videos anymore, because I kind of feel like, and I know that's horrible for business, and I'm not, but I kind of feel like it's one of those things, like, you might know what's actually going on in your situation, and you're just here because you know something's going on, but you're not ready to kind of acknowledge that inside of yourself. So just kind of keep that in mind too. And as always, take what resonates. If it doesn't resonate, just throw it out, okay? This is just what's come up for you guys. And, again, my heart really goes out to you guys. Hopefully this will be able to turn around. Maybe I gave you a really inaccurate reading. I don't know. You guys take care. Right. Hi. Those of you who picked the white butterfly pile number 6. We've got surrender denial. Ooh, we've got the five of wands and the 10 of swords. Don't freak out yet. We have secretive. We have decrease. We have dark thoughts. Okay. All right. And then we have forward movement. Okay. This is a very, very clear reading to me, and it's not as negative as you might think by seeing this card. It seems like everybody sees this card and they get really nervous. Don't worry about it, okay? Your person right now feels really stuck right now. They might be feeling kind of down, and I don't even feel like this is necessarily about the relationship, but they're just feeling like kind of, I don't like using this word because it's a misuse of the word, but it's almost like they're feeling depressed. Now, depression isn't a feeling. Depression is a mood disorder. But it's the best way I can describe this. It's like there's a cloud over them, and maybe they are having some depression. Maybe it's, maybe seasonal depression or something like that. But I feel like this person is kind of like being, like, if you look at this, it's like they're stuck in this maze here, right? Trying to get out. But they know they have to go through it, right? They have to go through it in order to get to the end. And because of that, you have felt that kind of distance from them. And whereas before, where it was kind of playful, now sometimes you feel like maybe your opponents, not necessarily real serious, like you might see a couple of people get together playing video games. Let's just make it even more simple and say, okay, they're teenage boys and they've gotten together and they're playing video games, and they're kind of being a little, they're being competitive, and they're, throwing around little like nicknames and calling each other names and stuff that might not be so kind. And maybe one of the boys is really actually not really, maybe they're not as competitive and they just want to have some fun, and that's it. I feel like what's going on is it's like that energy of like they're taking it a little bit too far, that kind of thing. But it's because they feel stuck. That's what this card's about. They're feeling stuck. They're feeling like there's no way out of their dark thoughts, okay? Please keep that in mind. And they're being secretive about this because they do not want you to know that they're feeling so bad. And because they're feeling this bad, it's coming out as these little bickering, that kind of bickering stuff. Sometimes it's been given like a more playful energy. Because this card it's really interesting. Sometimes this looks like it could be some people playing, it could be people fighting, it could, but for me it feels more like a competition. So you might feel like there's maybe some healthy competition between the two of you. Maybe you guys work together, and both you and your person are trying to get the highest sales in your company for I'm just pretending I don't know. And maybe that's something that's kind of adding to this. But the thing that you need to know the most that's they're holding back is just how stuck they feel. It really feels dark. It really feels like they've got some things to sort through. Understand that once they're able to admit that to themselves, that they do need some kind of help, or they do need some help getting through this, whether it's from you or it's anybody else, okay? It could be like talking to one of their parents, one of their friends, one of their siblings, talking to a professional, talking to somebody at their place of worship. It could be so many different, it could come from so many different ways. It could even be like by reading a book, or something like that. But they just need to feel like it's okay that they aren't doing so well right now. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that everything's, that doesn't mean that they've got to stick there. It's just, and all of that. Once they are able to admit that to themselves, then look at this forward movement. This is what I want you guys to really pay attention to. This forward movement, it's so obvious to me that this is going to turn around. But it might not feel like it is on your end. And sometimes people kind of get like this around the holidays anyway. I see this happen a lot. Not the year of, but the year after somebody loses somebody in their family, and they're going through the grieving process, and they have to go through. Maybe it's not the first holiday without them, but it's the second one, where they just kind of get real dark. It could be something like that. I just want to put some examples to this so you guys know that while this looks really, really bad, I mean, and I'm not saying that it's not. I'm not saying that this is a painful situation for your person, but this is just something that they've got to get through. And and there's a book. It's called Going on a Bear Hunt. You guys might have heard it. But the whole theme of it is that they come to these different these different obstacles in their way. They're like, can we go around it? Can we go through, can we go under it? No, we have to go through it. It's like, and like every single obstacle they come through, it's like they can't avoid the obstacle in any way. They have to keep going through it in order to get to that end goal. And I feel like that's what's going on. It's like your person wants to be like, nah, this it'll pass, and that kind of thing. But they really just got to go through it, feel their feelings, experience a little bit of pain so that they don't have to be suffering so much. And then the forward movement will come. If you're looking for a time frame, you've got about 6 weeks from the point in which you're watching this. They're going to be a lot better. You might want to kind of, ask them, hey, you going through some times, is there anything on your mind lately? You might even want to offer, because I know a lot of people get like this. You might want to offer, hey, I've been feeling kind of bummed about, the holidays coming up, and, and all of that. If you are, I mean, you don't have to pretend, but it's like, I know that a lot of people feel more lonely when people are supposed to be having fun. And it's just it's so sad to me, because I look around the holiday season. I was born on December 20th. So it's kind of like doubly bad for me, because I'm like, I want some attention maybe, but then, everybody's rushing around. And it's like, nobody looks happy. Like if you go out to the stores, I mean, that might not be the best idea with COVID going on. But if you go out to the stores and you look at people, you look at the face of what they're going through, and you're like, man, nobody here looks happy. It's just, I think the reality of it is that we put so much expectations on it that it ends up always being less than what we want it to be. Try kind of easing up those expectations. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's just got to be like, it just uses a break, that kind of thing. And kind of share that with your person too. But that's what's going on. And I do feel like they will be able to admit to themselves and then to you. They're only being, like, another thing, it's like, I feel like they're being secretive, not just with you, but also with themselves. It's almost like there's an aspect of them that's afraid to admit it, but then there's also the aspect of them that just doesn't want to admit it. So your person might just not want to admit that this is what's going on yet. But while this is going on, you will notice a decrease in that attention, and you will see that every so often your person will be kind of cranky and that kind of stuff. Just know that you guys will move forward after about 6 weeks. You'll be fine. So just keep remembering this moving forward card, because that's the end result. All right, guys. Right, thank you so much for watching to the end of my video. I wanted to let you guys know today we don't have any more videos coming out today, but tomorrow, Wednesday, we're going to do the ultimate relationship reading, okay? So we're going to have a pretty big thick pile of cards for each person, and we are going to go through all the questions that come in with me about like, what are they feeling, what are they thinking, what's their next action, what's my best course of action, that kind of stuff. That's what we're going to be going over on Thursday, which is Thanksgiving here in the States. We are going to be releasing the video for December predictions, so be sure to tune in for that. And then on Saturday, Turi is going to have some bonus content. I think that what we're going to do is this little intuitive activity, and he'll go ahead and guide you through that. And our store, and that will be in the description, okay? Everything you need is in the description, or in the comment, is having a Black Friday sale, which is 20% off. All you have to do is put in the code SAVE, SAVE, okay, in caps. And that is how you can get 20% off anything in our store. All right, guys? That said, I look forward to seeing you guys tomorrow with the ultimate relationship reading.